All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
Yesterday it was all over the news that na health Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is actually failing him. So one update na akọrọ mmadụ akọrọ buto oche gị tụpụrụ ala ka I settle down watch this particular video from beginning to the end. Kono no ife DSS nwere ikwu gbasatara this news that is trending and why they rejected that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be transferred to a better hospital for treatment. The update is from legit. Kan go pụtara ya comes we ya unu man ọrụ anyị bụ aifo ayeno ayewutara unu si unu Biafra bịa no ka isi we no ya. So from your screen you see that the update says DSS has explained the reason for asking to reject Nnamdi Kanu's application to be transferred to National Hospital. Full details here. So let's go and hear the full details from legit. And the update said, why we told courts not to transfer Nnamdi Kanu to National Hospital, DSS opens up. So they are finally spoken of. So let's see their reason. So they said, the Department of the State Service, DSS, has opened up on Nnamdi Kanu's application for urgent medical attention. The DSS said it asked the Federal High Court in Abuja to reject Kanu's application to transfer him from DSS custody to the National Hospital, Abuja. Dr. Mohammed Nasir, who is the medical officer for the DSS, explained the reason why the secret police asked the court not to transfer the IPOB leader to the National Hospital. So let's go ahead, we'll find out the reason. FCT Abuja, the Department of the State Service, DSS, has urged the Federal High Court in Abuja to reject the application filed by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu asked the court to transfer him from the DSS custody to the National Hospital for the sake of urgent life-threatening heart condition. Alright, Dr. Mohammed Nasir, who is medical officer for the DSS, said the secret police gives the best attention to Nnamdi Kanu life, health, and safety. Okay. Nasir said Kanu enjoys maximum comfort, including any food he demands. He added that the DSS has one of the best medical facilities in the country. All right. Nasir said several specialists and medical professionals have taken care of Kanu since July 2021 when the court ordered his detention in the DSS facility. The DSS said it is aware Kanu has some health challenging issues, which include hypertension of about 5 years with hypertensive heart disease, symptoms suggesting gastroesophageal reflux disease, low serum potassium level, and recurrent nose bleeds. All right. The secret police said Kanu himself chose the specialists and medical professionals who attend to him, and his health has been in stable condition ever since. For July 2025, according to the DSS, Kanu requested for another lead physician and together with the specialists from the DSS conduct thorough medical evaluation on Kanu. However, the DSS said new lead doctor later made some sweeping challenges for the medication Kanu take, which their own expert objects to it. One of the letter they wrote to the doctor on 19th August 2025. Judge takes action on Kanu's motion on medical attention. Recall that Justice Musa Liman of the Federal High Court, Abuja, sent back to the Chief Judge, CJ, a motion filed by Nnamdi Kanu for reassignment. Alright, the trial judge ordered the transfer of the case file to the CJ following an application by Kanu's counsel, Uchenna Njoko San, on the grounds that the court's annual vacation would end on September 15th. The Biafra separatist leader is seeking an order transferring him from the custody of the Department of State Service to the National Hospital in Abuja for urgent medical attention. Protecting witnesses in Kanu's trial. Earlier, Legit.ng reported that the High Court acceded to the request by the prosecution for its witness be scheduled in the terrorism trial of Kanu. Justice James Omotosho granted the permission while ruling in an ex parte application filed by the prosecuting lawyer Adebojega Solomon San. While urging the application, Awomolo said the identities of the witness needed to be protected for security reasons. So if I have updates, I know about this particular update.
To this, come and listen. I did a very strong research and very strong digging, and I found out that the justice that threw away Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's medical request for urgent treatment, yes, Justice Musa Liman is his name, but not only that, he is from Nasarawa State. Not only that, he is a Fulani man. And you know that Fulani people do not care, do not have any sympathy for human life. In fact, let me put it clearly, they don't have regard for human life. And if I can add more, they value the life of cow, the the life of Nama, goats and cow higher than that of human being. So at this point, I know you are no longer surprised, as I am no longer surprised at such brazen disregard for life of a person that is coming to face trial in a court. It's like you do not care about the person, but you care about the case. How can you not care about the person that is bringing the case to court? It's very funny, because judges always talk about habeas corpus, which means that people should be able to come to court to defend themselves. Now, how can Nnamdi Kanu, as he is sick, or perhaps if eventually what they are praying for happens, how is he going to come to the court to defend himself? Is the case more important than the person, or is the person more important than the case? So you see the kind of country that we are sharing people with. People who do not place value on human life. That is the kind of people that we give charge of our judiciary, the kind of people we give charge of our ministries, the people that we give charge of government, of parastatals, institutions, presidency. These people who do not have value for people outside their own circle. That's exactly what this judge himself saw and gave judgment. Perhaps if it was a cow that was facing trial, or a goat, this man would have given the goat freedom to go for medical treatment. But because it was a human being, he refused. I'm not saying it because of Nnamdi Kanu alone. I did an extensive fact checking again, and I found out 6 cases that this man also did that same magic, something like that. 6 cases. And it goes to show you that the fruit does not fall far from the tree. Listen to this. Justice Musa Liman has been involved in several controversial judgments and rulings during his tenure as the Federal High Court in Abuja, and Kanu, drawing criticisms for perceived bias, delays, or defiance of higher court orders. You see, this is a man that does not even have regard for rule of law. That even higher court orders defiance against them. Let's go on. Now, these are 6 controversial judgments by this same man that drew worldwide and local attention. 1. The Kanu Emirates Injunction of June 2025. Justice Liman issued an injunction restraining the Kanu state government from reinstating Sanusi Lamido Sanusi as the Emir of Kanu amid ongoing disputes over the Emirates structure. This ruling was part of a broader tussle between states and federal interests, leading to accusations of overreach and political interference. It sparked widespread debates on judicial intervention in traditional rulership matters, which critics arguing it undermines state autonomy. Very, very true. How can a judge give judgments against the law? Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was reinthroned in Kanu as approved by the House of Assembly, which are the chief lawmakers that all these judges are following as their guideline in delivering justice. The lawmakers have approved it, they stamped it, and they passed it into law into the Kanu Emirates bill. All this man, Liman, needed to do, all Justice Liman needed to do, was to interpret the current law, to interpret the law, but because of interference in his court, like I said, judicial interference. The same thing that happened in Nnamdi Kanu's court on this medical issue. He allowed his court to be used by higher powers. Of course, you know that throne of Kanu Emirates, there are 2 parties involved who are fighting. One is federal, one is state. So Justice Liman, of course, did his own power and stopped that, which he was not empowered to do. That shows you, number 1, of what that man stands for. Let's go on. The APC chairman suspension halt of April 2025. In a decision on April 18, 2025, Liman halted the suspension of Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the APC, despite prior high court order upholding the suspension. This was criticized for disregarding judicial hierarchy and potentially favoring political interest, with opponents calling it a judicial coup against party discipline. It's obvious who is working for. This man is clearly working for higher powers. His court is not a place people come and find justice. I beat my chest. His court is a place, is a slaughter ground. When the federal government wants to do their normal magomago, it is just Liman's court they use, and that is just the way it is. Because you cannot tell me that somebody was suspended appropriately by his ward, by his party, and went to your court. Why is it your court he went to? And your court did this particular thing. Always is your court. Always is you. Why is it always you? Why? Why always you? They come to shop your judgment in your court all the time. Let's go on. Number 3 now. Edo governorship election case delay. Edo governorship election case delay of 2020-2021. In a suit filed by plaintiff Omologbon against the INEC and the Attorney General over the 2020 Edo State governorship election, Liman fixed a ruling date in December 2020 but failed to deliver it for over a year. The plaintiff accused him of dereliction of duty, highlighting chronic judicial delays in election matters and eroding public trust in the judiciary. Always complaints. There is never a judgment he will give that will go well. No. Because once you give him a case, he already knows. Once you are challenging him or challenging his masters, and you know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, you know who is holding him. So you expect Justice Liman to come out and give Kanu bail or give Kanu treatment, permission, when you know who he is. I went to find out the kind of person he is, because normally a normal human being will give people permission to go for medical treatment. Because as a judge, you should even be scared of your, of people not being able to defend themselves because of being wrongfully treated. Let's go on. In a cybercrime case, Liman denied activist Omoyele Sowore's request for temporary release of his passport, citing his failure to include family details in submissions as grounds to question his intent to return to Nigeria. Sowore accused Liman of aiding injustice, making himself an accessory to crime, and issuing an extensively long ruling to justify restricting his movement. This drew ire from human rights groups for potentially violating freedom of movement. Whenever he does not want to give judgment, he look for alibi and give. Whenever he don't want to give judgment for you, he look for alibi and give. The most easy, sometimes the most stupid alibi. That don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. He's always on the side of the government against the people. That is not justice. Now you can see the kind of judge that handled Kanu's case. I don't even understand how Kanu's lawyers ended up having this man to handle this case of yesterday, of this health issue case. I don't know how it was in his hand. Because I don't know why you people don't know how to fact check a judge before you approach a judge. All these judges are there. They have been there for years. Their cases are there. You can go and read it and know. Mostly the ones who are sons, who know them very well. You know yourselves. So you cannot come and pretend you don't know who Liman is. You cannot pretend you don't know who Liman is and you allowed him to handle the case. And look at how far it went. Because you know in your heart that there's no way. It's not going anywhere. And of course the case did not go anywhere. He struck it off. Now Nnamdi Kanu will still be in the cell with those same illnesses. And the judge knows that those things are highly dangerous to his health. The judge knows, but they don't care. Because Nnamdi Kanu is not a cow or a goat. Because the life of a cow or goat is higher than that of a human being. Forever.